All right guys, welcome back to the Direct Farm Roadmap channel. In this video, we're gonna be covering the strategies from the pre-sold season book to help you pre-sell your farm offerings in 2024. Now, if you haven't gotten yourself a copy of the pre-sold season, you can do so in the show notes. Please don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed the content, and let's jump on into it. My name is Mike Parker, and I wanted to make this video to dive into some of the strategies that are inside the pre-sold season book, as well as our top 3 strategies that we use to help farmers and ranchers all across the country grow their direct-to-consumer farm brands. These are the same strategies and techniques that help Nick at Muddy H Farms go from selling 20 animals a year direct-to-consumer to 50 animals the following year. And they took Ab Johnson at AAA Meats from just starting out and had never sold anything direct to consumer to pre-selling over 20 animals in his first season.
Mike has been great. He has been a huge help watching him take my idea and turn it into something, turn it into, I didn't even have a logo whenever we got started. I knew that I had homegrown beef. And Mike took it from there,
Andrew and Kayla 2x their sales from their first year going into their second year, selling pasture-raised chicken and pork directly to their customers.
This is exactly what we need. Like I knew that we needed it. I just didn't know where to start. Our free chicken giveaway was a huge success in people wanting to sign up for it. I would say that 15 or 20 chickens that first day. And a few cuts, sold a pork share or two. So, it was a success in that aspect. We did a little bit in sales, but we did collect a lot of emails that first day. When that chicken giveaway, doing a QR code for it, and then having the ability to have people sign up, that was a huge success for us.
Now listen, if you guys have red flags coming up about some guy on the internet trying to sell you a system to help you make more money selling your farm products, that's a good thing. Let me give you more information about myself so you can understand how I ended up here in the first place. Again, my name is Mike Parker. I'm a first-generation farmer. I started farming through a simple Google search on how to raise food for a family of 4 during the COVID lockdowns. And that introduced me into the world of farming. When I first started farming, I needed to learn a lot of new skills, but I didn't need to learn business and marketing. That's my background. That's what I had done for the 15 previous years professionally before I ever started farming. I actually owned and managed several different businesses, one of them being a digital marketing agency, and that's what I went to school for, was business marketing, all before I started farming. And the moment that I started farming, I realized that there was a gap between farmers that were looking to sell direct to consumer and the skill set needed to build a brand, especially digitally, to have a digital footprint, to attract new customers, and to be able to market and to sell them in the 21st century. So here I am. I found myself teaching farmers and ranchers just like you some of the basic digital marketing techniques that can help you grow your direct-to-consumer farm brand. So with that, I want to dive into the pre-sold season. Again, you should have a copy of this in your inbox. We're going to jump around a little bit. I'm going to talk about some of the main topics in here that can help your farm or ranch grow in 2024. And then, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I want to talk about the top 3 things that every farmer ranch, all of our clients, all of you guys listening are going to need to implement in your farming or ranching operation in order to grow in 2024. So in chapter number 1, the first thing that we talk about, guys, is finding a crowd to pre-sell to. So if you don't have your own customer database to pre-sell your farm offerings to, then you're gonna need to find a crowd. You're gonna need to find your own customer database. And one of the easiest and most effective ways to do this, guys, unless you wanna be on a Rolodex like the olden days and calling up every one of your customers on your phone every time you wanna make an order or sell your product, then you need to be using a CRM. And that's a customer relationship management software that's going to allow you to do customer outreach on automation. So we're going to jump in. We're going to look at emails that we're able to send out automatically on a scheduled basis for our pre-sold offers and our marketing in general all year, but we can't do that without a CRM. If you don't have a customer database, then that new CRM software is basically worthless. Now, let me give you an example that I have inside the book, and that is 1,000 email contacts equals $100,000 in retail farm sales per year. Now, let me give you an example of how that breaks down. That's 1,000 new customer contacts that convert at 2.5%, meaning that you converted those 1,000 people at 2.5% to actually purchasing from you. That would be 25 people. And let's say those 25 people made whole animal deposits at $4,000 a head. That equals $100,000 in gross farm sales over a 12-month period. That's what we're looking at. Now, I know those are some rough numbers, but I see that with our clients all the time. We can expect between a 2.5% to 5% conversion rate on a customer database of people that have expressed interest in your farm-raised products. Now, I cover some strategies in here about how you can build that customer database. You guys are gonna need to take a little time to take a look at that, but that's the first thing I wanna cover in this video. If you don't have a customer database to pre-sale to, then that's your first step. Find yourself a crowd, use some of the strategies that I cover in this book to help you build that customer database. Now, moving on to chapter 2. Once you have that crowd and you start to build what we call your pre-sold offer. So if that's whole and half beefs, again, CSA signups, different bundles that you're offering from your farm, whatever that looks like, we can add something to that can create value for our customers to give them the feeling that that offer is simply too good to say no to. And that's the idea in chapter 2 we cover of creating an irresistible offer. Now, let me give you an example of what we did for our farm. We raised pastured poultry and we put together a program called Pastured Chicken for the Year, or just Chicken for the Year for our customers, where they can pre-order 75 or 35 whole birds with us as whole birds or cut ups that they receive every 8 weeks during our growing season. Now, how we created our irresistible offer to that is we gave our customers their own video tutorial of how to cut up their own whole birds so they could use those carcasses most efficiently in their family cooking. We gave them some recipe ideas on how to use those carcasses. And then we also gave them a video training tutorial on how they can make their own nutrient-dense chicken bone broth using the carcasses, necks, and feet from the chickens that they pre-ordered from us. So now our product is no longer just, hey, chicken for the year. It's chicken for the year with a video training series on how to cut up your own birds and make your own nutrient-dense chicken bone broth. So for our dream customers, we have elevated the perceived value of our offer. Now, you guys can do the same thing. I talk about some other strategies like that in chapter 2. Especially if you're doing whole and half beef deposits, and some ideas how you can help create an irresistible offer for your farm. Now, moving on, I wanna move to the next phase, and that is the idea of using emails to drive urgency. So we talked about that CRM software that can send out automated emails to your customer database. I know you guys are working and already thinking now on how you can build that customer database. You're taking a look at some of the strategies inside the book on how you can do so. Now, once we have that customer database, we have to be very strategic about how we use emails to drive urgency. So we have 3 phases of emails inside the book that we cover. And those are number 1, awareness, number 2, education, and number 3, urgency. So simply to break those down, with phase 1 being the awareness phase, we want to let people know that we have an offer to sell them, whatever that is for your farm. And then in phase 2, the education phase, we want to educate them about how does the offer work? How do they order from us? When they do order from us, if it's a whole or half animal, do they get a cut sheet? What does that look like? How do they pick it up? Walk them through a little bit of that process in the education phase. You can even talk a little bit about, why buying farm fresh or pasture raised products or whatever it is that you raise is beneficial to them in general. And then in phase 3, being the urgency phase, we want to create a sense of urgency for those deposits, those signups, again, whatever that looks like for you. Maybe you have an impending deadline or a time period that you need to have those deposits in by. And so that's what phase 3 is for. So I walked you guys through some examples of phase 1 and the different types of emails. We have an announcement email, just letting people know, again, that we have an offer for them. In email number 2, again, in the awareness phase, the how it works email. So again, I mentioned that if it's wholes and halves, walk them through what that process looks like of ordering with you guys. What can they expect? It might be their first time doing it. So be sure to include some really good information in that second email. Now, in this third email, we talked about what's included. So again, whatever that is, if it's a CSA sign up, talk to them about what can they expect to get in those boxes every time that they're getting a box, whether that's monthly, quarterly, or however you guys have that set up. So moving on here, guys, we go to the education phase. We've got emails walking through those. The urgency phase, we've got emails walking through those as well. So moving on from here to chapter 4 and the idea of selling on landing pages. Now, the idea of selling on a landing page is selling a specific offer, again, wholes, halves, CSA, signups, everything we've been talking about with this book, on one page where a customer can see all the information that they need to make an order. And things that I believe a customer needs to see in buying from a direct-to-consumer farm, they want to see things like the farm. They want to see maybe your farming practices and get a chance to build a sense of trust and connection with you as the farmer. They should be able to order right from that page and not have to jump around, go to a third-party hosting page, or go anywhere else to do that. So I've got a breakdown of what a good landing page consists of on the next page, and that is a captivating headline, social proof. So that might be a review of someone who's ordered from you in the past. They're actually able to order their product from that same page. There's an irresistible offer attached to it that we talked about in chapter 2. There's urgency and scarcity. So, hey, we only have a limited amount. You have to order now, or you need to put your deposit in now. And then the idea of showing farm or farmers, as I mentioned, building that trust and connection, having a picture of the farm, farmers, maybe a little snippet with your slogan or maybe your mission statement. And then FAQs, so frequently asked questions about what does it look like when they order a whole and half beef from you? What are your farming practices? What are you feeding or not feeding? All those things. So all of these components make up a great landing page. Now, the idea here is that someone can scroll on one page and see all of the things that we just talked about right here. They don't have to click any links. They don't have to go anywhere. They don't have to go to another page and then try and get back to the page that you were on previously. They can find everything they need to make an informed decision. They see social proof. They can actually order their product right from that page. There is a value stack to make them feel like that product or bundle that they're ordering has a higher perceived value than just that product alone. There is urgency and scarcity along with that. So again, better order now because we only have so many spots available. And then it shows the farm or farmers that they're purchasing from, so they feel a sense of trust and connection with buying local food. And then an FAQ section, so all of their frequently asked questions are answered and they feel comfortable paying you that money. Now, if we think about our dream customer for us and our farm, we say it's a 35-year-old homeschooling mom. I always think about her sitting in the car drive-through line. If she's not able to find those things quickly while she's scrolling on her phone, sitting in the carpool line, then she's going to leave your website, she's going to forget about it, and she's not going to order from you. Now, in the book, we've got some breakdowns. We actually have very specific examples, show you here, of what a good landing page looks like and the components of a landing page. We point those out to you guys to give you some ideas on building landing pages, again, for the pre-sold offer. Now, the main point of selling on landing pages is to increase your conversions. That's how many people are viewing your products online and then ultimately make a purchase from you. So the higher our conversion rate is, the higher the percentage of people who view our products end up ordering from us. So things like ease of use, how simple they can navigate your site. Can they actually order directly from that page? Is there enough information? Are their questions answered? Do they feel comfortable ordering from you? That's what a landing page can help you do. It can help you increase your conversion rates for specific products, for specific offers, and we talk all about that in the pre-sold season that you guys have yourself a copy of. That's my quick breakdown. Now, I quickly want to talk about the 3 things that I mentioned earlier in the video that all of our clients, that we help them implement and that all of you guys listening are going to need to implement to grow your farm or ranch in 2024. And that is driving more traffic to your website. If you don't have a website already, traffic is the lifeblood of a website. The more eyeballs you can get there, the more chances you have to make sales. Now, point number 2 is your conversion rates. If your website is converting at less than 2%, let's say you have 10,000 visitors to your website every year, if you're converting at less than 2%, then that tells me there's problems with your website. Somewhere in there, there's problems. Maybe it's ease of use. Maybe they're not able to simply find your products and make orders. Maybe it has to do with the design of your website. Some of those different things that we can tweak, but conversion rates are huge when we look at the top things that you're gonna need in order for your farm or ranch to succeed and grow in 2024. And then number 3 is going to be lifetime value of our customers. So anytime we have a customer who makes a new order, they make an order from us. Now, at that point, the entire time that they know about us or ever make a product from or purchase from us in the future, or we're ever in existence as a business. That would account for what we call LTV, or lifetime value. How many other orders does that customer make on average? How much are they spending with you per year? Or the lifetime that they know you. Typically, we look at that as a 5-year span. And if we can increase that through our automations, through our CRM, through our email automations, if we do a really good job with those, we cover some of the strategies in here, some of the things that we teach for an entire year, we can increase the customer retention and the lifetime value of that customer in the future purchases they make over a 5-year period. So again, the traffic to your site, the conversion rates of what you already have out there, and then increasing the lifetime value of those customers that you have. That's what we help our clients do. That's what we want to have a conversation and see if it's a good fit for us to help you do the same and potentially work together. So I hope this was helpful for you guys and you have some takeaways that you can apply to your farm site. If you enjoyed this, do me a favor and subscribe, and y'all have a great day. Thank you guys so much for watching this. Again, if you didn't get a copy of the pre-sold season, you can do so in the show notes. There's a bunch of other links and resources in there. Please don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed this content, and we'll see you on the next video.